Alright, we'll see if the camera will expose for my face. Okay, so we are Monday. I'm gonna go training again. My guts are rumbling a little bit, so hopefully everything goes well, because when you deadlift, things can go bad fast when it comes to that. So anyway, we out here. Okay. You were going to say something.
You don't look like your head's
I'm trying not to crap my pants.
Well, crap your pants.
Crap your pants. Great motivation, Joe.
He's hooked. Oh, come on! What's the matter with you? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Okay, now I'm done.
I know.
What? Mike was right.
See, you can do any, now you can do 3.
I think that a 1 rep max isn't enough to stimulate growth, because last time I did it, went down to 295, then I repped out 225 to failure.
It's not enough.
What's that?
It's not enough to stimulate growth.
No, that's why I think he was right with the 6 to 10 reps.
He also said if you can only do 2 or 3, that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't stop when you started, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you've done 3 and build on that.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
You should have been able to do 4. That's the money one. Come on, push yourself. Up. There you go. It's alright. Do it again. You can do this. Down and up. Down and up. Come up. Push yourself. That's it. Push. Hold it. Come on.
I've never felt so much like clavicle muscle.
I can see your chest popping.
Because like the amount that you feel it, like I've never felt something at like the collarbone. Like
Yeah.
Okay guys, gonna do a little bit of a debrief there. So this workout, all things considered, I think it's fair to say it went well. It went well. Praise God, glory be to God. And yeah, all things considered, all factors in play. I talked about how, before the workout had kind of the rumblies in the gut. But all things considered, things went pretty good. So as far as the deadlift, so this is the 14th workout of the year. I believe the 12th workout of the Consolidation program. I won't go into explaining what that is right now. I'll just get to the point here. So this is workout B. On March 23rd, deadlift and dips. So I did my warm-up of 135 for 10 reps. Hopefully I did 10 reps and counted that correctly. Then 225 for 3 reps. Then when I went for 315, as far as I understand, hopefully Joe didn't provide any assistance on the last rep. As far as I understand, I got 315 pounds on the deadlift for 3 reps. That last rep especially probably looked fairly rough, but it went up, and that is much better than I believe 2 weeks ago when the bar for 315 didn't go more than a half a foot off the ground or something like that. So this is a substantial improvement. I was hoping for at least 2 reps, so getting 3, pretty solid. And this, I think, for me, is probably the definitive proof, hopefully, that Mike Mentzer was right about his training methodology of high-intensity, heavy-duty training. And of course, Arthur Jones gets credit in there too, and to some extent, probably Dorian Yates, although I'm mainly more focused on Mike Mentzer specifically, as well as Arthur Jones to an extent, and to some extent, Dorian Yates, but mainly Mike Mentzer. And in terms of the training methodology. And then on the dips, I got 7 reps, and then in brackets here I put, I'm just going through my training notebook here. In brackets here I put, so I got almost 8, so I wrote it like this, almost 8 plus rest pause. So I almost got 8 reps on the dips, I think. I don't believe I quite got to the lockout on the 8th rep, but I would say that's probably just a little bit stronger than last time I did the dips. Hopefully the tempo, pacing of the dips, hopefully was a little bit better this time. Was I rushing it? You could debate it, but at the end of the day, hopefully there was at least a reasonable amount of control to the reps. And so I did the rest pause as well. I think I mainly did rest pause for 2 probably, but they weren't full reps. It was more going down on the rep, then trying to go up on the rep, getting probably halfway up or something like that, maybe holding it just a little bit, then stopping, resting for another 10 or so seconds, then trying to do another rep, doing the negative, going when you go down, you're doing the negative part of the rep, then trying to go up, doing the positive part of the rep. Probably got roughly halfway again up on the rep on the second rest pause. Hopefully I held it for a little bit there too. Hopefully I held it at the top, where I kind of got halfway up on the rep. Hopefully I held it for those rest pause things at least a little bit. My memory might not be perfect on it. And then after that, I believe I went for a 3rd attempt at rest pause, but I think at that point it was more going for the negative, going down on the rep, and then trying to go up, trying to do the positive on the 3rd rest pause rep. Probably not really getting anywhere, and then just kind of statically holding at the bottom of the negative. And then lowering maybe just a little bit, but at that point there's not really a whole lot of lowering that can be done, but there's some hopefully extra intensity in the attempt at static holding as well as the little bit of lowering. But anyway, so in my notes here, deadlift went pretty good. And then I have a funny little note here as well relating to the whole crapping of pants, in brackets, didn't crap pants, ? Because obviously it wasn't sure at the time. And then dips a little bit stronger. So, and then I put ? Because it's maybe a portion of a rep stronger on the dips. But anyway, so yeah, you know, the concern about the stomach rumblies, you know, thankfully it didn't go like super bad or anything, because that would have not been great. So anyway, thank God. The workout, I would say, all things considered, quite successful. Deadlift substantial increase. I thought about talking about this earlier. I'll talk about it now. On the deadlift, what this seems to potentially prove about my theory, or basically, I'll say it like this. My theory that I said, was it 2 weeks ago, about a 1 rep max not being enough to stimulate growth? It seems, based on the stats here, like that might be correct, because the 1 rep max, next time I went for the like the 1 rep max, 1 rep of 315, then the next time I went to attempt 315, it didn't go for a full rep, right? But then after I didn't complete that full rep, I dropped it down, I believe, 20 pounds to 295. I got 1 rep of that, and then after that, just to try to get a bit more intensity, or maybe the better way to explain it is it achieved a bit more exhaustion, probably a good amount more exhaustion of the body system, by doing 225 to failure after doing the 1 rep of 295. So what all of this would seem to tell me is that a 1 rep max does not seem to be sufficient enough effort or a sufficient enough intensity or exhaustion of the muscles and the body system to stimulate growth. Because now, as a result of doing the attempt at 315 plus the 295 for 1 rep plus the 225 to failure, as a result of all of that intensity / exhaustion from that, plus maybe whatever amount of strength increase was hopefully stimulated by the other workout in between, which was the squats and pull downs, all of that has now culminated in a strength increase on the deadlift, as you could see here, or as you saw in the video. So to summarize, if you want to stimulate growth, I recommend for not going for 1 rep maxes, but instead trying to get, I feel like 4 reps is a good minimum. I only got 3, so we're gonna see next time I go for the deadlift, if I get 3 or more reps, then maybe 3 reps for me was the, like, hopefully somewhere around the minimum required intensity or exhaustion of the body to stimulate growth. We're gonna see next time I do workout B if the reps for 315 on the deadlift at least stay the same or increase. And if it stays the same or increase, then I know that at least 3 reps, roughly around that range, is kind of like the minimum required level of exhaustion or intensity on the deadlift for me to stimulate growth. But at least from what I know on the squats, it might be different on the squats too, it's a different lift, but I've had success with getting like at least 4 reps on a weight in the past. And I mean, if you go back to when I first started this workout isn't even filmed, but the very first Smith machine squatting I did like 10 reps of 135 and then like 1 rep of 225, then failed on the 2nd rep. And then next time I did it, you know, the strength increased, but was that just kind of residual strength re-emerging from the past? You could debate that. Anyway, I recommend trying to get, we'll say, I'm not certain about the 3 reps, if that's sufficient, but I feel like at least 4 reps. But if you can get in the 6 to 10 rep range, that seems like it might be a pretty solid rep range to stimulate growth. So maybe try to shoot for that. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. God bless.